police to cover up crime. If the police cover up crime, expose them, and we'll get rid of them. We've got a lot of young people who want jobs. If the policemen who are there don't want to work, the ones who want to work are there. We don't have to beg these policemen. They must do their work fully. Then the problem of land grabbing. Fight land grabbers in your area. If you do this, you'll find that people will be very happy with the aim. Healthcare, free education, roads, crime, land grabbing, maybe also safe water. These are the ones I would like to emphasize under services. Then the issue of market. If you produce all these products, who will buy them? I'm glad the NRM has invited the Fratano from other countries of Africa. It's we understand the issue of market. You cannot succeed in production if somebody doesn't buy what you produce. The way we are standing now, we produce a lot of products. The internal market is not enough. If we do not have the regional market and the international market, we would not manage. So therefore, you need to politically understand the issue of market. And we work with our neighbors in Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, Congo DRC, South Sudan, Somalia, to fight for the unity of the market, so that we create elections. Election day, there should be no campaigns. So those who are moving around with pictures and so, stop. And those who are making a noise, stop. Just sit down and be called to vote. Will the candidates speak or what?
Yes, Your Excellency. They'll have 3 minutes.
Yes, so only the candidates should speak. So those who are making noise, stop that. You fight for nothing. Just calm down, sit down, stop making noise, stop moving around with pictures, because that is campaigning. Today, you are now saying only the candidates are allowed to say something. That's correct. Okay, so sit down, you people, stop making noise, sit down. Or if you are walking, walk peacefully, not campaigning, not carrying pictures, not making noise. Okay? Apoyo Mater.
Tell them not to play until we tell them. Oh, no. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for the guidance, and the Electoral Commission will implement that effectively and immediately. There are 2 things I was saying.
From 1.3 acres, he earns 1 billion gross and 183 million net annually from eggs and milk. Byamukama ono byamukama buchkwaya earns 1.3 billion gross and 60 million net from eggs and milk and coffee and so on. There are people like Kizisto of Masaka who earn 15 million. There's Basangwa of Kamuli earning some good money. You get people like Kachuro of Bundubujo earning 56 million from cocoa and so on. So there are people who have listened to the message of the NRM and they are doing very well. And when in commercial agriculture, sector 1, we identified 7 activities. Coffee, 1 acre, fruits, 1 acre, dairy, for pasture for dairy, 1 acre, 1 acre for food for the family. Then in the backyard, those pigs and poultry for eggs. And in the wetlands, fish farming. The wetlands are being misused, and we are underutilizing the terrestrial or Lukalu. Underutilizing the Lukalu and misusing the wetlands. How? By growing the rice in the wetlands, we dry the swamps, but get little money. But by drying the swamps, we deprive the Lukalu, the terrestrial. Terrestrial is the word for dry land. Water for irrigation. And yet, if we do fish farming, we shall get more money and we shall bring back water for irrigation. I want them to show you what we are doing in Rimoto, you will see.
Amanya gange nzedi kusoka majidu nga nzo mbaka wa president mu kitundu kino. President bwe yansindika wano mu 2020 nasanga nga project eno eweddewo. Tasike yange yasooka nengamba president ayogera nnyo ku project eno naye ekiri wansi tekiriwo. Najjano nga awona waliwo omuceere. Twatulanga abakulembeze ne tugamba tulina okukyusa ekifo kino. Ekifo kino ekigendera kyakyo nti kitudde ku ekemu. We natula n'abalimi ne bangamba baali bajjamu ensawo mukaaga ez'omuceere. Ensawo mukaaga ez'omuceere mitwalo nga 21 nga weesanga nga eri emiliyoni 1 mu emitwalo 3.
Ndi mulimi w'ebyennyanja. Nali ebiseera ebyasingira obungi nali ndi mulimu wa muceere omusa naye ekiseera kyemala omwiga omwo nga nimo muceere kyali kiseera nga kiwanvu era nga n'amaani agenkozesa omwiga omwo gali maani nga mangi nga ntwale abaana bange tufuduukira omwo n'omwami wange yantwala tufuduukira omunyera omwo naye nga tukozesa maani mangi ulamuona nga tumalira mwiga omwo.
So you can see there my project in Remoto, near Parisa. I do fish ponds at the edge of the swamp. Then the water comes back in the center of the swamp. When I do that, they earn very good money. My fish ponds in Kavare, Lango, Teso, I have got fish ponds which I have done on the presidential land farms. I get about 70 million per acre. You can hear that those people were getting 1.7 million from 1 acre. So you spoil the swamp, you get little money. Me, I bring back the swamp, I get much more money, 70 million from 1 acre. And then you say for irrigation, for the dry land. Let's see Dr. Muranga, what she has done in Museveni.
Plantation which you've had, we've already gone beyond 50 tons of per hectare per year. Matoke is only important part is water, but especially in the dry season. So here we are using irrigation, drip irrigation, as you can really see, using water, especially in the dry season. Drip irrigation, the advantage with it is that it sends water where it is required. PBD does not depend on national water. We make our own water, which we pump every day. 90% of the water is used for irrigation, and the other 10% is processed
now
for use.
By irrigating, Dr. Muranga is harvesting 53 tons per hectare of bananas in Museveni, the government farm which I gave her. But the nearby Banyankore, in the same hectare, they harvest 5.3 tons. In other words, Dr. Muranga is harvesting 10 times more. So, with this agriculture, we must go for irrigation. And irrigation means we bring back the wetlands, use the miga, the edge of the swamp, the center comes back, water comes back, and we use it for irrigation. Now there, we had selected the 7 activities. You will see them in the booklet here. Then the second area of wealth are the factories, which you saw there. Big ones and small ones. Then services, then ICT. Then we go to the 4th word, jobs. Jobs, emirimu. Where do jobs come from? Jobs come from wealth. You create wealth, personal wealth, family wealth, company wealth, government wealth, a parastatal. You produce a product or a good or a service, but you also create jobs. Let's see how young people have created jobs. Show us Vyamkama. Vyamkama is a young member of parliament.
District. We are now at our 4-acre demonstration farm. The land we have here is approximately 4 acres. This is a farm we started 2 years back here, 2.5 years back. And on this farm, we have a half acre of pineapple. We have cows for zero grazing. We have 12 of them for zero grazing, 2 which are giving us milk. We have poultry, about 25,000 birds, but only 11,000 are giving us eggs. And we have 1 acre of grass. We have piggery, those are very many. And 1 acre of coffee mixed with banana. Where we are, this is a 4 acre model farm. I did this activity to teach my voters, lead by example, so that my voters can learn what measure the president tells the public. This is an initiative I learned from the president sometime back when he sent me to learn to Kaumu, to Kisozi. I copied what I copied, this is what I came up with. And you see as we move, or that side, this side, that's my 4 acre model farm. The house as well. I don't sleep here, but if I will sleep here, the house as well is seated on this 4 acre model farm. When you get like the half an acre of pineapple per harvest, you get about 4.5 million. When you get the cows per month, because there are 2 which are giving me milk, each one gives me 12 liters per day, we get about 1.4 per month. Because the breeds which we got at first were not giving good milk. But we have got some cows which they tell us they are giving about 25 to 30 liters, and we know by the end of this year they will have produced, and we see. When you look at poultry, out of the 25,000 birds, it's only 11,000 giving me eggs. Others are soon giving me, and I get 302 trays per day minimally, because 11,000 birds are supposed to give me 366 trays, but because of the feeding method of deep litter, I don't get all the eggs. I get 302 trays per day minimally. When you look at the piggery, in a month, I can get about between 150 and 180 piglets, but those I don't sell. I give to my neighbors prayer. When you look at coffee, we haven't started harvesting. But generally coffee here, if you have harvested well, per acre you get between 12 million, 15 million. But now the banana which is in coffee, we're already eating, and per month I may get like 40 bunches, I get some good, but majorly here, what is giving me money? They are the pineapples, the 4.5 million per harvest, and I harvest twice a year. You will see, even as now, there are those which I can harvest for my friends to take. Then the poultry, it gives me 302 trays. That's per day. Then I sell in a month, you can get a net profit of 55 million. Because you get 108 million, but you can't get all that. You have to buy feeds, pay workers, pay electricity. Remain with 55 million net pay. The 1 acre for grass, it is feeding my 6 cows. I'm told by the agriculture people, I even have the balance to add more 2 cows. They tell me 1 acre can feed the 8 cows. Currently, I'm employing 26 people. Previously, I was employing 17.
That's the point I wanted to show. You can freeze those workers there. Freeze the workers. You can see those workers. 26 of them who have just got jobs. They had 0 jobs, but when Biamkama woke up to create wealth, in the process he created jobs for those 26 people. Now there's one of our wealth creators called Nyakana. For him, he uses 1.3 acres, and he has now created 15 jobs. So you can make a calculation. Uganda has got 40 million acres of arable land. But even if we were to use only 7 million, and we do like Nyakana did, and employ 15 people, we would create 105 million jobs. This is more than the whole population of Uganda, including the refugees. So the issue of jobs starts with the issue of wealth creation. If we don't create wealth, there is no way jobs will come. The government jobs, which people are killing themselves over, are very few. 480,000 jobs for a population of 46 million. But as I speak today, the factories have created more jobs than all the government jobs. In this book, let me see. I'm trying to see where the jobs are. Yes. The commercial agriculture, so on page 26, commercial agriculture, 3.6 million jobs, factories, 1.4 million, services, 5 million already. The government jobs, only 480,000. So therefore, on this issue of jobs, we need to be clear. Now then, the fourth area of interest are services. Services not as a wealth, but as a consumer. I am a resident of Uganda. I am a citizen of Uganda. I want security. I want transport. I want health care. There, in the coming phase, I want you to concentrate on some areas. These are on page, I think, 28. And I want you to deal with the services of wherever, which disturb people. First of all, health care. Stealing medicine in the hospitals. That must be fought by you, the leaders. Then, on immunization is doing very well. Where there's a problem is curative, treating, but otherwise immunization is doing very well. Then you have education. We must insist on free education for our children. The good thing, you have got many government schools, 12,000 primary schools, and 1,000 something for government secondary schools. But the problem is that they charge money. When you read here, you will see the point I'm making. Then we have the roads. The roads must be good. The tarmac roads and the Maram roads must be well maintained. You, the leaders, must monitor this, especially the members of parliament. Where do the local governments put the 1.3 billion we give them? The Right Honorable Prime Minister, the Secretary General of the NRM, members of SEC, members of NEC, and members of the National Conference. First of all, I thank you for again putting trust in me to be your chairman of the NRM for the period 2026, 2025, 2031. Thank you so much. I also thank you very much for electing me as your flag bearer for the presidential contest. For the presidential contest for the position of President of Uganda for 2026-2031. I congratulate the Honorable Alhaji Moses Chigongo for being elected by you unopposed. Thank you so much. Honorable Moses Chigongo is a senior cadre of the NRM, has worked for the NRM for a very long time, since 1980. Now for these conferences, I have written a speech in a booklet form, which they are going to distribute to you now, of 36 pages. If I try to read it verbatim, you may die here, because it is long. Therefore, I will pick highlights from this booklet here. When I am talking about Uganda, I normally cover more than 1,000 years of this part of the world. Some people make a mistake and talk about Africa as if it did not exist until the Europeans came here to colonize our ancestors. We were here long, long ago. We have been here for 4.5 million years. But I normally speak about the last 1,000 years. However, in this booklet, I start the story at independence, 1962, when Uganda got independence after the British had been here for 68 years. At that time, our society here had been partially annexed to the British colonial system in a small way. And we are known as an economy of the 3 C's and the 3 T's. The 3 C's were cotton, coffee, and copper. And the 3 T's were tobacco, tea, and tourism. With these 6, you had a small enclave economy of money surrounded by a sea of backwardness, of economy with no money. Now, by 1962, this small island economy, this word enclave economy, is what we are using in the 1960s to describe these colonial economies. Now, this enclave economy, by 1961, was covering only 9% of the homesteads, the ones making some money. 91% were people who were okora echida chonka, working only for the stomach. In Luo, they say, teach me each keken. In our other dialects, I may mix it up, but working only for the stomach. And that's where poverty was. Now, in 1971, when Amin came into government, because he didn't know what he was doing, he collapsed the small island of the 3 C's and 3 T's. By the time we got rid of him, 1979, cotton had collapsed, copper had collapsed, tea had collapsed, and so had tourism. It was only tobacco and coffee that were still limping on. That's why the situation of the people was very bad. There were shortages of everything. No soap, no salt, no sugar, no sodas, no beers. Our beer drinkers were drinking beer from Burundi called Primus, and some beer from Congo. There was no beer here. Therefore, what is in this booklet is what the NRM has achieved. When we came in, we knew exactly what to do. And that's why the economy of Uganda has recovered. And as I speak today, we have gone through 5 phases. Phase number 1 was minimum economic recovery, where we brought back some of the seeds, we brought back cotton, we brought back coffee was there, we brought back tourism, and we brought back tea. Some of the seeds and the teas came back. But we also defeated magendo, smuggling, chibanda, foreign currency, black market, okusamula, speculation. And we called that the phase of minimum economic recovery. Then phase 2 has been the expansion of the small island. Produce more coffee, produce more tea, more tourism. We are bringing it back, and we are going to produce it in a better way. That was the second phase, expansion. The third phase is diversification. In the corona times, there was incredible blindness or carelessness. We used to be told that cash crops were only coffee, cotton, tea, and cocoa in West Africa. Then we would say, how about bananas? How about maize? How about milk? How about beef? How about cassava? How about fruits? Why are they not cash? And we'll be told, no, those are not cash crops or cash products. They are for eating at home. But of course, we didn't believe this. You can imagine me from Ntungamo. I used to see in the shops tinned milk from New Zealand being sold in the shops in Ntungamo. And yet I was a milk producer just 2 miles away from the trading center. But my milk, my father's milk, was not being sold in the trading centers. So when we came, we diversified the economy. We said everything that is needed nationally, regionally, internationally, is a cash product, provided it is profitable. That's how we have made maize a very big cash crop. Sugarcane is a big cash product. Cassava is becoming a very big cash product. Milk, beef, bananas, fruits, vegetables, all those are cash products. So therefore, the third phase is diversification. The fourth phase is value addition. Because one big loss was to sell raw materials. This shirt I'm putting on, and what one of the shirts you are putting on, are from Ugandan cotton. Certainly mine is. It is produced by fine spinners. When you sell unprocessed, semi-processed cotton, you may get $1 per kilo. But if you convert that kilo into shirts, first of all, 1 kilo will give you 4 shirts. And the total value will be about $15. So when you sell lint cotton, you get only $1, but when you process it to where I am now with the shirt, you get $15. A difference of $14. But also the jobs which are created. The spinning job, the weaving job, the printing job, the tailoring job, all those are lost if you sell raw material cotton. So that is the fourth phase. I don't know whether they can show you some of the factories of value addition, like the one of fine spinners, the ones making textiles or nightie. Show them to us if you have them on the screen. You can see, freeze it there, freeze it there. You can see those factories, they are making cloth. I think those are making jeans, which used to be imported from outside. They are now made here. You can see. This is phase 4, value addition. You can show the shoe factories, if you have them, or the ones done by youth in the skilling hubs. All those, freeze those shoes. All those are products which we used to import from outside. And yet they are from our raw materials. You can imagine we, the cattle keepers and goat herders who have got a lot of leather, who are importing shoes from outside, importing furniture from outside, importing those metallic doors from outside. You can see not only the big factories, but even our small young people are doing them now. So that is phase 4 in our recovery and transformation. Phase 5 is the knowledge economy, the economy of the brain and the skills of the hand. And the best example are the vehicles which your people are now making here. The Kira electric vehicles which are being made by your people. Let them show them to you. Those buses and the other vehicles are being fabricated by your own people here in Uganda. Now, these are the 5 phases we have either covered or entered. Now, because of this, the economy has grown in size from $3.9 billion to about $66 billion now by the foreign exchange method. By the PPP method, purchasing power parity method, 188 billion. Exchange rate methods, the economy has expanded 17 times. This is where we are. That's why now we are saying now we need to enter a new phase. And this is what the main point in this booklet. It says time for the qualitative leap forward. Want the economy to change completely, to become from 66 billion to 500 billion in the next few years. We are now a lower middle income country. We are targeting becoming a high middle income country of $500 billion in the next few years. And why do we say this? We say this because much of the 66 billion is raw materials. If we add value to even what we have now, we are going to hit that mark. Because take all our 10 million tons of bananas, they are mainly raw material. Much of the maize is still raw material. The cassava, all those products are mainly being used as raw materials. So therefore, the next phase which you are now supported us to push forward is to make this jump from lower middle income to upper middle income, to move towards becoming a modern society. A modern society means that you depend more on the products of the brain and the skills of the hand rather than the muscles. Instead of using hose, we should shift to using tractors. Instead of our well to collect water, the water should be brought by the pipes, not our girls to be the pipes. Instead of our girls blowing firewood in the fire, we need to use electricity and so on, become a modern society. But in order to do that, we need to understand 7 words which normally confuse people. Word number 1, peace. Edembe, obusinge, kuch. This is very important. And we should not allow anybody to disturb our peace. If you see anybody disturbing our peace, please tell him clearly, don't disturb our peace. Even in these elections, which we are having, don't allow people who create friction by doing wrong things. Tell them openly, don't disturb us. We want peace. And peace is based on amazima, on the truth. Ada. NRM has been able to keep peace here for the last 40 years. This may be the first time in the last 600 years when we have had peace in this area continuously for so long. Otherwise, in the pre-colonial times, there was always wars among the tribes, except in the time of the Bachwezi, 900 AD to 1400. That's when we had some peace in the whole area. Otherwise, during the time of the kings, we had wars, and during even the time of the British, the area was never pacified. So we have been able to bring peace because of our politics of unity. I am glad your dance group here was able to show that. We don't believe in the politics of identity, we believe in the politics of interest. So that is the one word I want you to have in your mind. Peace. Second word is development. Development means mainly enkulakulana, entunguka, don global, apol, in the meaning infrastructure and other common things, other enablers. You can see some of the roads, they can show them there, which have been built from east to west, south to north. And we are going to continue, and even repairing the roads which have started going bad. Show us some of those roads, the new ones. You can see those roads. And we are now working on the railway, electricity, and so on. Now, but the big mistake, which you people need to be careful about, is that you spend most of the time talking about those roads and so on. Yes, those roads are very important. A tarmac road is good. A hospital is good. A school is good. It serves all of us. But at night, you don't sleep on the road. You don't sleep in the hospital. You don't sleep in the school. you go back to your own house. And when you go back to your house, you confront the problems of your house. Poverty, lack of food, lack of jobs. So therefore, we are saying that you people, our Basoga people, summarized it well for us. They said, Akange kasinga akeife. Bwebakoba. Akange kakira akeife. Mine is better than ours. And the ours is the third word, wealth. Those words, I separate them. Development is our, wealth is mine. Personal, family, company. Now, people get confused on this. And the wealth is found in 4 sectors. Commercial agriculture is one of them. Manufacturing is another sector. Services, border, hotels, tourism, music, entertainment, that is another sector. The 4th sector is ICT. So therefore, you the leaders, and I'm glad I'm talking to the new leaders, many of them young people. I want you to be clear about this. If you do that, things will be very easy for the whole country, but even for you as a leader. Obwavu, Ogobobwavu, Chan, Uboro, from the homes. There are a few families, some families which have listened to our message. I'm very much happy with some of the young people, like the boy called Ijara of Serere. You see what he's doing.
Hello. My name is Joseph Jala. I am the proprietor of Taifa Farm, which is located in Serere in a place called Kakusi, where we are. And in Taifa we have dairy, poultry, and we're also making laundry bar soap. But we also have the value addition aspect of the farm, where we produce yogurt and pack it, tin it for the market. This project started 11 years ago after an inspiration from His Excellency, the President of Uganda, when he had come here and he was teaching people about the 4-acre model. He was having a rally in Soroti. That time I was working as a taxi driver. I was doing that master business in Soroti. So when I heard this, when I heard he was around, I crossed to go and listen to his story. And he was talking about a 4-acre model, how to improve household income. So when I came back, I was fired because I delayed there and the guy said, you go and eat those words that you had. But I had already this land, 2.5 acres, but I also had local chicken here. But after hearing that, I got inspired to put more effort on raising this chicken. So I raised the chicken to the tune of about 100 of them. Then I got an incubator. That was about 4 eggs. So I used that incubator for multiplying my local chicken farm. Eventually I was having 1,500 local chicken around. I was very famous for local chicken. So, but then local chicken were not answering my day-to-day needs. So I decided to translate it to layers. In Taifa Farm, we have 10,000 layers, which give me about 310 trays per day. And each tray goes at price of 10,500. So approximately about 3 million shillings a day from the eggs that we get. Of course, it varies depending on the cost of the feeding, but at least a half goes for management, a half goes to our pocket as Taifa. So after selling the layers, that money I invested it on dairy. I started dairy with the 4 cows, but you know, I multiplied very fast because I'm using AI. I have my own semen bank here.
Now
so
you can see Ijara used 2.5 acres for poultry and for cows, for dairy. You heard that every day from eggs alone, he earns 3 million shillings gross. Altogether, Ijara earns 1.4 billion shillings gross, and net 608 million net in a year, using 2.5 acres. We've got other people like Nyakana, police, to cover up crime. If the police cover up crime, expose them, and we'll get rid of them. We've got a lot of young people who want a job. If the policemen who are there don't want to work, the ones who want to work are there. We don't have to beg these policemen. They must do their work fully. Then the problem of land grabbing. Land grabbers in your area. If you do this, you'll find that people will be very happy with the NRM. Healthcare, free education, roads, crime, land grabbing, maybe also safe water. These are the ones I would like to emphasize under services. Then the issue of market. If you produce all these products, who will buy them? I'm glad the NRM has invited the fraternal parties from other countries of Africa. It's good that we understand the issue of market. You cannot succeed in production if somebody doesn't buy what you produce. The way we are standing now, we produce a lot of products. The internal market is not enough. If we do not have the regional market and the international market, we would not manage. So therefore, you need to politically understand the issue of market. And we work with our neighbors in Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, Congo DRC, South Sudan, Somalia, to fight for the unity of the market, so that we create a good atmosphere for our wealth creators. Now finally, the issue of strategic security. Yes, if we do integration, economic integration, we shall deal with the economy. But how about security? How can we be secure against all threats? Some of the actors in the world are talking of 4-dimensional superiority. That they want to be superior on land, be superior in the air, be superior at sea, be superior in space. On the moon, some people are on the moon, while we Africans, we are just here. They are looking at The question is, even if Uganda becomes a modern country, can it manage send a person to the moon? My answer is no. But that's why our predecessors, Mwalimu Nyerere, Kwame Nkrumah, Kaunda, Sekou Toure, Modibo Keita, Patrice Lumumba, Louis Rwagasore. That's why they were talking of the political federation of East Africa or those of West Africa. So when you read this speech, you will see the arguments for that federation, to engage our fraternal parties and struggle to unite our people politically, in addition to economically, so to create a unit that can guarantee the future of the black race against all threats. If people are on the moon, we should also go there and see what's happening on the moon. But Uganda cannot do it alone. But East Africa can do it. So the question I normally ask people these days, why is the United States prosperous and nearby Latin America is in a bad situation? And yet Latin America got more natural resources than USA. I think the answer is in the market. The founders of the United States created a good atmosphere for wealth creators to produce wealth and sell. In Latin America, the market is fragmented. I think this is their problem. That's why it is not easy to succeed business-wise in Latin America. So the question I ask you, Africans, is what are you building here in Africa? Are you building a United States of Africa in Africa, or a Latin America in Africa? If your answer is you are building a Latin America, then history will condemn us. Now finally, I congratulate all of you, because many of you have been elected fresh. And many of you are young people. I saw the ones, when I was up country, I saw the young ones who are being elected. I congratulate you. But I want to give you advice. The leaders who kuchenura, this is a Nyankore word which means solving the problems of the people which are solvable. The people will love you. But when you kuchenura, don't try to carry people on your head. Tewetika abantu. Kyetaaga okukulembera abantu si kubeetika. Don't carry the population under you on your head. Lead them. Show them what to do using government resources, not your own money. This is where corruption is coming from. People are looking for money to use in politics because they want to be the one to fund their followers. Don't fund. Show them the way to use PDM, to use Emyoga, so that they get out of poverty. And fight corruption. Fight the ones who are stealing the money of Emyoga. Fight the ones who are stealing the PDM. The people will love you. So with these few words, I open the national conference. Thank you so much.
Yes, Museveni wa kazi. Tubonga nawe Museveni. Chief of the Armed Forces, the leader of our revolution, and our brand new flag bearer for President of the Republic of Uganda 2026 and beyond. Your Excellency, we want to thank you so much for the wisdom. NRM